Thanks for checking in again, guys, for another episode of I'm So Cadizzy. I've been playing a little bit of Football Manager since you were last here. Not a lot, but a little bit. And it's fair to say we've had a pretty awesome start to our season. Our first season at Cadizzy, we are 4 games in. We are unbeaten. I'm going to fill you in on all of that. It's transfer deadline day as well. And on top of that, we're going to take on Real Betis in our next league game as well. It's going to be a busy episode for you guys. I hope you enjoy. So there we have it, guys. It's on the screen right in front of you. The evidence. A brilliant start. Brilliant start to the season. Didn't concede a single goal in the opening 3 games. With us taking maximum points from those opening 3 fixtures. Following up that brilliant Atletico Madrid win from the last episode that you guys watched alongside me. A 2-0 fantastic win for the opening day of the season. We followed that up with another 1-0 against Almeria. A 2-0 against Rayo Vallecano. And then earning ourselves a good point away at Athletic Club Bilbao. But it's not been as plain sailing as it looks. And to be fair, that was completely proven. If I start to fill you in on what's happened while you've been away. The Almeria game, it was a 1-0, but it wasn't a game of few chances or little action. There was plenty going on. First of all, in the 16th minute, the first disallowed goal of the game. It was an Almeria goal. It came from a corner. The corner came in. It was a long, hopeful volley that I thought was going to stand. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Only to notice that it ricocheted off Touré, and you're going to see it here. It ricocheted off Touré into the back of the net. He was given offside. We got away with one. Without a doubt, we got away with one. So that was the first bit of action. Then I thought we was going to go down on the stroke of half time. They got a penalty. It was a poor tackle. It was a really good opportunity for Almeria to get their heads in front, and it would have been, on the balance of playing that first half, it would absolutely have been justified. They battered us in that first half. However, when you've got the quality of keeper that we have got, granted, he is rated as the best player in our squad, and with saves like that, you can see why. You can see why the assistant manager rates the man so highly. Then, early into the second half, it was our turn. It was our turn to have a goal disallowed. Again, my head were in my hands, but for the wrong reason. I didn't think we'd conceded. I actually thought we'd scored, but we hadn't. It was disallowed. You can see here, we build up from the back. Luis Hernandez to Espino. And it's some good passing around the back between the defence. This is what I've seen in the opening 4 games that we're really good at. Passing out from the back, keeping the ball, being patient, not panicking. And it's great to see that sort of composure at the back has led to a goal. Unfortunately for us, that one was disallowed. Bongonda was miles offside. But the build-up play was absolutely worth showing you. And we've seen plenty of that in our opening 4 games. And it's given our fans, lots and lots of encouragement about the season to come. So they've been, at this point, I'm sitting there thinking, is there going to be a winner? Is there going to be a winner? There's been 2 disallowed goals. There's been a missed penalty. And as late as the 88th minute, the winner came in the form of central midfielder Jose Marie. Brian picks it up, cuts inside, and it was a powerful strike with a left foot into the roof of the net from Marie. A brilliant goal. A really, really good goal. Good power. Good accuracy on the shot. Well deserving of a 1-0 win. But the action wasn't over there. It wasn't over there. In the 94th minute, Almeria thought they were level. The 3rd disallowed goal in the game. For a 1-0, this literally had everything. And there it is. And don't get me wrong, you can see from it, he's absolutely... He couldn't be further offside. He was so offside, it was unreal. And we hold on for a 1-0. So it was a good follow-up in the end to the Atletico Madrid result. It was great to get straight off to 2 straight wins, but Almeria definitely wasn't plain sailing. However, Rayo Vallecano were up next, and that was a much more convincing win in our favour. 3-0, 16 shots on goal, 67% of the possession. Lucas Perez came off the bench at half-time in this game, and he really made the difference. And it was his goal. He scored the first one. He got us on the road to a 3-0 victory. But it really was a case of the player coming off the bench and really changing the game for us. Brian Ocampo knocked over the top, and Lucas Perez with a lovely chest and volley for the first goal. That is a brilliant, brilliant strike. Alex Fernandez then doubled our lead from the penalty spot before Fernandez added a third late on in injury time to seal all 3 points. Sabrino on the right, he crosses in, and Alex Fernandez from close range finishes the game off. A nice easy win to make it 3 in a row. And Perez, to be fair, after coming off the bench and having such an impact, he was probably a little bit disappointed that I didn't start him for the next game against Athletic Club. And to be fair, on the stats, we were battered. They proved to be a real stern test for us. 18 shots to our 5. They had 61% of the possession. We really were backs against the wall for large periods of the game. After Ander Herrera given the lead to Athletic Bilbao, it was Lucas again who comes off the bench for the second game in a row to score and bags us a massive, massive point. So it means that incredibly we are second in the league. We're the only unbeaten side in the league alongside Real Madrid. We got the second best goal difference, won 3 out of our 4 games. I genuinely could not have in my wildest dreams it being any better at this early stage. Where we're at now, it is transfer deadline day. One of the most important days of the year without a doubt. However, we haven't got a lot of money to play with. We've got a transfer budget of 1.3 million, a wage budget. We've got 25 grand. So we've got a little bit, but certainly not a lot. Which makes me laugh that we're being linked, rumoured to be signing players in the region of 11 and 8 million pounds. The only one that's realistic of these rumours that we could potentially target is Carlos Augusto, a 23-year-old Brazilian fullback. But to be fair, I'm not going for him. He looks like a half-decent player. Do I think he's a player that's hugely going to improve us? No, I don't. And at 23 years old, he's not going to improve enough to warrant me going for him. So with regards to players out, Anthony Lozano, the man that we was looking at, who Brentford were trying to knock up for 2.8 million, he's been linked with a £5 million move now to Everton. He hasn't started the season in fantastic form for us either. 4 appearances, no goals, no assists, and only a 6.5 average rating. He does keep getting subbed off for Perez, who has been awesome. It could be, if I get an offer in excess of £5 million for a striker that has not started the season well at all, I could well let him go today. Right back, Iza. Yes, he's our second choice right back. If I was to let him go, he's been linked with a £900,000 move to Real Sociedad. If I was to let him go, I would need to replace him. So really, it's going to be a case of weighing up. Yes, 900 grand. Am I going to be able to get someone of the same quality? He's a decent backup player. He's not old at 29. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. The other player that's being rumoured of a move away is central midfielder Thomas Alarcon, the Chilean international. He has been linked with a move to Arsenal. I can only imagine that Arsenal are looking to sign Alarcon as a backup squad player. I can't see that he is going to be hugely improving their side over the likes of Partey and Xhaka. But there's interest. He's valued at 2.5 to 3.5 million. Again, if I can bank 5+ million for him, he could leave the club. Either way, it's going to be a busy day. Let's get transfer deadline day up and running. So the first bit of action that does come up just 1 hour into the transfer deadline countdown is the offer that comes in from Almeria for Ivan Aliko. Now, this is a guy that I've just put on the transfer list. He's not good enough to be playing for our squad, for our club. He's barely a squad player. He lacks in a lot of key areas, and I'm more than willing to let him go. He's worth 1.1 million. Almeria have come in with £1 million. I'm happy to accept that all day long. Ivan Alejo should be leaving the football club today. And next up, the Gooners have come in for Alarcon. The expected bid has arrived and the opening bid is 2.3 million, 1.8 up front, instalments of another 450k. Now Alarcon himself, like I said, he's valued at up to 3.5 million. It's certainly not a player I'm looking to get out of the club, so I'm not going to be selling him for a cut down price. So I'm going to be telling Arsenal straight up, let's go in high. They're probably going to walk straight away from this, but I'm going to say, look, I want 5 million. I want another 2.5 in instalments. We know you've got loads of cash, Arsenal. You've been splashing it about for a couple of seasons now. 7.5 million is a drop in the ocean. Could mean a lot to us, though. I'm not too bothered about the percentage of profit from next sale, so I'll drop that down to 10%. Let's suggest the terms. And as expected, Arsenal haven't gone for it. Will they be back with an improved offer? It remains to be seen. And if they are, there's a good chance now that I may have to accept it. Alarcon has got the ump. He wants to know why I priced him out of a move to England. I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to try and put it to bed. Whether I'm going to be able to convince him to stay at little old Cadizzy, I'm not sure. But he's saying, I'm disappointed that you priced me out of a move for Arsenal. I think there would have been I would be a more important player for them than I am here. Incredible. This guy has got an incredible ego. I'll give him that much. He thinks he's better than Xhaka and better than Partey. Wow. Now, I have got an option here to talk to him about a release clause, which I'm not going to lie, I wasn't aware that he had. So, I'm just going to check that out quickly and just see how much that actually is before I talk to him about it. So, his release clause in his contract is for 9.5 million. So yeah, I'm going to go back to him and say, look, you agreed to that. I expect you to want it. You agreed to a release clause in your contract which clearly states the offer needed to discuss terms with you. Until that clause is met, you are going nowhere. Let's put my foot down. And he hasn't responded well. I don't want to wait and risk them moving on to a different target. Let's say I'll make a promise that if they come in with a decent offer, I'll accept it. So I've said that. We haven't agreed on a number. What I think is a decent offer and what he thinks is a decent offer might be two different things. But the formal transfer list has now come in. It's looking more and more likely that Alarcon is going to get his wish. He's trying to force a move through out the club. And it might just happen. The transfer window in England short closes earlier than it does in Spain. Does it make it harder for you to sell Thomas Alarcon? Well, I'm not trying to sell him. The time difference causes some problems for us and we have to work around them. We might have to rush it through. Now, I'm just going to say I've not really thought about it because I hadn't really thought about it. It's all kicking off. Alejo has agreed his move to Almeria. He will leave the club for £1 million. Now, with regards to my own scouting, I'll take the opportunity to show you where I find my players and how I do. I like to take control of my scouting on my games, so I don't just leave it to my director of football or chief scout. I have set up all my recruitment focuses. So I am currently looking in Spain, and I set these up for what sort of star ratings I'm looking for. So in Spain, I'm looking for anyone, my scouts to recommend anyone with a minimum of a 3-star ability. England and Scotland, again, anyone with 3 stars but minimum potential of 3.5. South America, so we are out in South America looking in countries like Brazil, we've got on this one, we've got Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador and Paraguay set assigned to one scout, and the other one is covering Brazil, Uruguay and Peru. So we're looking for those South American players there that could come over, fit straight into our first team. But on the flip side to that as well, I have also got a South American Wonder Kids set up, where I'm looking for minimum current ability of 0.5 star but minimum potential ability of 4 stars and players no older than 19 years old. So I'm really looking to find those South American Wonder Kids, and we've got that the same one for European youngsters as well. So trying to actually get out and find the best youngsters on the game. The European youngsters again is broken down into different countries. So this one I've got them actually covering all the under 18s and under 21s and under 19s tournaments in the likes of France, Spain, Italy, Italy, England, and then my other European youngsters one that is covering countries, so actually going to different countries, all the main ones where you'd expect to find good youngsters coming through, and that's how I find my players. So then what I'll do generally is just go through the scouting centre. So with what comes up, I'll look at the ratings, I'll look at the potential ability, I'll look at the stats, but the attributes will be the key factor, along with the role that they play, what value it is, and everything else. But yeah, that's generally how I find players, and where the players come from into Cadizzy throughout this save. But for now, it is back to that window, and Thomas Alarcon, Arsenal seem to have lost interest in the player. However, West Ham have now emerged as the favourites to sign the player. He's on the transfer list. I'm expecting a bid pretty imminently, if I'm honest. However, I have had a bid accepted for a young Brazilian, having already lined up Alarcon's replacement. So Gustavo Assunção is currently on hold, but the board are going to let me adjust the budget to make this one happen. Sorry, excuse me. So Gustavo Assunção, he's coming in for 4.2 million. He's 22 years old, and he is looking at 22 years old. He already looks pretty quality. The scouts are saying it'd be a terrific signing. That's where we found him, through the scouting reports. As I just showed you, he's one of those Brazilian players that we've picked up through actually scouting out in the... he's not. Sorry. He's playing for Famalicão, so he's actually come through the Portuguese scouting. But he's played for them. He's not played too well so far this season. I'm not going to lie. He's only got 4 appearances, 6.53. I'm very much taking my trust in this kid based on his attributes. He's a spirited personality. He's got good vision, good passing, decent tackler, good technique, good teamwork. He just ticks all the boxes for what I want to play. He's initially going to come in as a squad rotation alongside Jose Maria. I don't really have a decent deep-lying playmaker for when Jose Maria is out of the team, and Assunção can play that role for me. It's not a lot of money. It is pretty much all of our budget, but I think the kid will prove to be worth it. So we're going to confirm the deal. It's 4.2 mil. I think it's 2.7 up front. The rest is in add-ons on league appearances. After league appearances, 400k. There are some of the fee is being spread over the next 2.5 years in 6 monthly instalments as well. So that's where we sit. We're bringing him in. I think it's going to be a good signing. Adjust that budget and get us and Sal through the door. Now, I've kind of put myself in a situation though where Alarcon does need to leave the club during this window. The main reason being, Assunção comes in as a Brazilian player, non-EU. Alarcon's non-EU. I've already fulfilled my non-EU allocations in the squad. So I need to move Alarcon on to make room for Assunção. I'm going to just quickly tell Jose Maria to welcome the new man to the club. Alarcon's coming out of that squad team, and the new man, wherever, there he is going in. Gustavo Assunção. And I've actually just realised Assunção is actually not taking up one of those slots, and that must be because he's got citizenship, I would assume. I'm just going to quickly look at his information. So he's got Portuguese and Spanish, so he's actually eligible as he starts his international career to play for Brazil, Portugal or Spain. Thus far he's not played for any, but on the flip side, although I still want Alarcon out because he's unhappy at the club, it doesn't actually take up one of my slots in the non-EU as well, which is really handy. And we do now have a bid for Alarcon, and it is one that I'm willing to accept. With his replacement already lined up, I don't need him here. He's a problem player. He's causing me issues in the dressing room if I keep him here against his will. Southampton have emerged. They've come through with 4.7 million, 3 million up front, another 1.7 mil in 6 monthly instalments over the next 2 years. That will cover what I've just agreed to pay out. For Assunção, we'll get a 20% profit of next sale if they sell him on for big profit over the next couple of years. But for now, I'm happy to take that 4.7. We'll accept that offer, and Alarcon prior to agreeing contract terms with Southampton, he should be going to England. He should be out of the club. We're just waiting for confirmation of that coming through. He's at now performing his medical and discussing terms with Southampton. And there we have it. Alicon granted work permit. The work permit's been granted. He's off to Southampton. 4.7 mil. Goodbye. Thank you very much. He's no longer here. It's not bad, to be fair, either. 1.5 million he cost us, bringing him in from Chile. Didn't show us any loyalty whatsoever, really. Played one game for the club. Decided he wanted to leave as soon as Arsenal come calling. It wasn't Arsenal in the end. He's settled for Southampton. On you go. One last parting shot. I heard you wanted to talk. Let's go. Wow. The attitude on this lad. No, you haven't been a fantastic servant, so we're not going to tell him that. Yeah, I felt your unhappiness was beginning to affect the squad support. No, I'm not saying that. You weren't. So it's a great chance for you to get regular football. Nope. To criticise. I'm very disappointed with how you have engineered this move. You have shown a lack of respect to me and the club. Frankly, I think we'll be better off without you. Bang on. I want some career progression, and engineering a transfer is just the quickest way to get the ball rolling. I don't think there are many players who would have done the same these days. I agree that this is the right time to move on. Alicon's out, and I don't believe that we're going to do too much more business. I'm not really looking in the market. I do like to keep some money. Alicon on his first day, yes, he's valued a little bit higher. We might have been a slightly cut price, but I still think 4.7 million for a player that I don't think is even going to make a big deal for Southampton. I don't see him pulling up trees there. We've got 3 million in the transfer budget. We've got about 7,000 available in the wage budget, but I'm pretty happy with my squad. We've had a good start to the season. I don't really feel, if I had to, if Lozano had gone, I'd get another striker in. But I'm quite happy with the Swapsie that we've made, if you like, in central midfield. Yeah, there's not really, obviously, Alejo leaving didn't really leave us short out wide. We've still got Ocampo, Sabrino, Lucas Perez, Alex Fernandez, Theo Bongonda and Awa Mobile that can all play on either wing. So I'm not in any rush to bring a winger in. I may look at the loan market with 4 hours of the deadline to go and just see if there's anyone worth tapping up to strengthen our position. But for now, I am happy. And after going away and having a quick look at the loan market, I have, with just 2 hours of the window left, I have actually now brought in another player. So we do invite Ajax young Portuguese winger Francisco Conceição. Like I said, 19 years old. Looks like an exciting player. Attacking midfield right. He's very much an inverted winger, cutting in onto his favoured left foot. He's got lots of flair. 19 out of 20 for flair. Plenty of acceleration and agility. Good dribbler on the ball. This is an exciting young wide midfielder, winger, attacker, however you want to word it. He looks really good. Valued 11.5 to 17 million. He joins us on loan for the whole season. He's been a regular prior to joining Ajax in Porto's side for a couple of years, playing nearly 40 games for them before being in the after being in the Porto B setup as well. Joined Ajax for 4.3 million and now comes to Cadizzy on Spain after only making one appearance for them. So the kid's got a point to prove. He wants to show Ajax that he's good enough to play in their first team. He'll certainly get the opportunity to do that with us. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. He's an exciting player. The fans should be happy. And he gives me, although I did just point out that I've got lots of options in those wide midfield roles, the opportunity to bring him in was just too good to be true. If he turns out to be fantastic, I could buy him at the end of the season for 22.5 million. I'm not sure if I'm going to have anywhere near that amount of money to pay, but it is in there. It is a clause. So if somehow we did manage to find that sort of dough, and he was awesome, I can buy him as well. We're only paying 6,750 quid towards his wages every month. However, there is a relatively large fee for playing and not playing. Now, if he doesn't play, if I don't use him, it will be double than if he does play. So I'm hoping he's going to turn out to be a good signing. because if I don't play him, he's going to cost me a lot more money over the course of the season. However, with regards to the finances, we're still in a strong position. I'm just going to slightly adjust that budget to bring us within the wage budget. So it leaves me just under 2 million in transfer for January. 300, an extra 10 grand in the wage budget, but the bank balance is healthy. We've got nearly just over 11 million in the bank. We're in a good position as a football club, and I'm happy with the additions through this window, ready for the rest of the first half of the season. And as the window does come to a close now, they're actually rating in Spain the top deadline day deal to actually be that signing, that Francisco Conceição loan signing from Ajax. So hopefully, just as that's being billed, that's being noted as the best deal of the day. Let's hope he lives up to expectation. Biggest spenders were Barcelona throughout the window. They actually brought in, obviously on top of Lewandowski and that were already here, they spent a total of 143 million. All deals that were done prior that we already know about, so nothing on top of that already. But yeah, so Barcelona spent a lot of money. Most players in, Celta Vigo 19. Most players out. Real Madrid offloaded 46 players throughout this window. Now, naturally, I would expect, they're pretty much all loans. So it's just, pretty much everyone in the youth squads has gone out on loan at Real Madrid. So that's the window. That's the window over. Our next few games lined up, we've got Betis, Espanyol, Girona, Osasuna. We're going to kick off the next game with Real Betis real soon. We'll play that one, and then I'll be off. And going into that Betis game, looking at my screen here, my squad selection screen, there are a couple of changes that I am going to make from the last game. So you guys will see that I've got a lot of information on this screen. This is my own squad selection screen that I use whenever I'm going into any match. And it gives me a lot of information on here. Look out for a video coming out tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. That's going to launch on YouTube, which is going to talk you through my different squad screens. So this is my squad selection. I then also do have a key attributes where I can see all the key attributes of all my players on one screen. And then I have a contract and transfer status, which shows me all the contracts, the ages, the statuses, bonuses and transfers of all my players as well. So keep an eye out for that video tomorrow, guys, because that will be talking you through, and there'll be downloadable links to download these squad views as well. But what I'm going to do, changes for this one, the defence have been pretty solid so far. Only Zaldua has struggled, so he's on a 6.72 from his last few games. I'm going to drop him and give Izza a run out, just because he's done okay in one sub appearance off the bench. Like I said, Zaldua is just a little bit out of form. Nothing really against the guy. Everyone else is pretty decent. Nobody else seems to be really struggling. Antonio Blanco comes back in after Alacon's departure. Assunção makes the bench for the first game, for his first game at the club. With regards to Alex Fernandez, he's going to keep his place. He's started the season really well. So 4 appearances, couple of goals. Our creative force. Conceição is also going to start on the bench after just joining the club. He's only been here a couple of days. I don't want to rush him straight into the first team. Ruben Sobrino and Theo Bongonda have been sort of battling out for that right wing position, and Sobrino's going to keep it for the time being because Bongonda hasn't been great. 6.64 from his last 5 games. It's not been a brilliant start to the season for Bongonda. So Sobrino stays out on the right wing. Campo keeps his place on the left after he's been good, and Lozano is going to get one more opportunity up front with Lucas Perez struggling for fitness. So that's how we look for the game against Betis. We're second in the league. They are 5th. They've not started too bad, to be fair, apart from an opening day spanking away at Espanyol. They then recovered really well with a good 1-0 victory over Valencia before a draw against Osasuna and another win against Mallorca. So they're not scoring a lot of goals, only won a game, but then in the last 3 they haven't conceded many either. So I expect this to be a tight match between 2 teams with pretty decent defences. So let's get going. I'm going to tell the lads that it's important to make use of our home advantage. And I'm going to let my assistant do one. I like to mix it up. Every now and again, I'll send the assistant to a pre-match press conference or a post-match one. Not very often. I won't do it a lot, but every now and again I just like to get my assistant manager involved. Maybe one every 7 to 10 games I'll let him do. As long as I'm doing the team talks with the team and setting individual instructions and stuff. I just think some of the media attention can come off me every now and again. So we start the game off. It's for us with the kick. It's chussed through to Jose Marie. It's just a case of keeping the ball in the opening stages of the game. Izza, who came in, he's given the ball away with his first pass, which won't be a great confidence builder for him on his first start of the season. Just make sure that we are on extended highlights, which we are. And we're now firmly into the game. Couple of minutes in, and we await our first proper highlight. We've had the first shot of the game, so we're slightly on top, but it is then with a free kick now as Fekir launches it in. But we've headed that away, and Blanco's put it forward to Lozano, who's going to look to counter-attack. He takes the ball out wide, dribbles it out wide. There's no one really filling the box, so he's pulled it back to Alex, who lays it off to Espino, and that was a decent shot. I feel for Lozano there, to be fair. The lad got himself down the wing, pulled the defenders out wide, but nobody was really attacking that box. There was no one really getting in there. So he did really well to pull it back and actually pick out a player to still have an opportunity. Now it's going to be Betis that look to build out from the back, as Bravo and Ruiz are sharing a few passes between them. Again, this is where we've been really good this year. We've really cut off these when the opposition are playing the ball around in their third like this. We really don't give them much to get the ball out of there and pass it forward. So as you can see, they're just passing it between the defenders. They've not got anything on, and eventually they just have to take a hopeful kick up long from the keeper, which we defend. And now it's turnover possession, and it's Espino to Ocampo. Jose Marie looks wide, puts it forward for Espino. Is he going to get there? He doesn't. Not quite sure what happened there. Their defender didn't exactly give it good control, but Espino didn't follow up on it. But it's Fernandez now, and it's a good finish. Alex Fernandez picked up the ball just outside the box, travelled nicely inside, and placed his shot firmly in the left bottom corner past the keeper. It's good play. Izza with the header to Sabrino. Yeah, and it's a nice move from Alex. Nice little dribble into the open space. Creates room for the shot and tucks it away into the corner past the goalie. 1-0. And we're looking solid at the moment. 5 shots. The possession's pretty even. The highlights seem to be going our way. So momentum definitely seems to be on our side. But now we face a little bit of defending. We've got a little bit of defending to do. And it's Alex Moreno for Betis on the left. Pulls it back for William. Puts it back to Marino, a little 1-2, but we've made the tackle, and it's Sabrino who's back there helping out his defenders, but he's been tackled as he tries to bring the ball out, and now it's Fekir to William. William looks wide for Marino. Marino's going to look to cross, hits the back post. Rodri with the header, but it's a comfortable save for Ledesma. Rodri was offside anyway, but it was comfortable. We defended well, stood our ground. Pleased with that. Not a lot going on as things have quietened down slightly, but now it's us with an opportunity to build out from the back, which again is something that we've done so well in the opening games this season. However, it is Betis now that are keeping us in our own third, and they're cutting off the spaces, but we're at a different level to them in that respect, and we play it out really, really well. The players make the space for each other, but Iz's tackle, but now it's Sabrino who puts in Fernandez for number 2, and it takes a deflection, and in the end it's a comfortable catch for Bravo, the keeper. I wouldn't even say comfortable save, it was a comfortable catch. Fekir's got a chance for Betis, but again Ledesma's there, good save, got down nice and quick, nice and low to his left, makes a good save, keeps us ahead. Ledesma's been a big factor so far this year. He's already got 2 man of the match performances in the opening 4 games, and with his performance so far, he's currently one of our best rated players in this game, and a couple more saves could quite comfortably see him land another man of the match quite early in the season. Now it's Izza at right back, Chust to Blanco to Jose Marie. Oh, everyone's having a little go. We're passing the ball around so nice. It's so nice to see. this formation seems to be really this tactic really seems to be complementing the players I've got. But we are going to get caught on the counter attack, and Ledesma again with a great save. I was just praising the boys, and then we got a bit sloppy, gave the ball away, and Betis were in for a really good chance. And to be fair, Fekir doesn't really have any excuse for missing that opportunity. It was a really good save from Ledesma, but if that was us up the other end, I would definitely be disappointed that we didn't just score an equaliser. For now, though, it's Alex Fernandez who lays the ball back for Brian Ocampo. Probably should have done better. Probably should have done better with that one. Disappointing that wasn't on target. But it's 1-0, and it looks like it's going to be 1-0 going into half-time, unless we can make the most of this opportunity here and score another. Espino's being forced all the way back towards his own goal. Luis Hernandez is there. Jose Marie. Chust to Izza. Izza's cut inside, but puts it out to Blanco. Sabrino back to Izza. This is a nice play. Lozano's got an opportunity, and again, it's deflected off the defender to go wide. But again, there's some really nice passing, some real intricate play in the middle of the park there. Brian Ocampo swings in the corner. Luis Hernandez looked like he'd scored. When the ball met his head, it was a really powerful header. Good header on target. But the keeper's tipped over. And Luis Hernandez again. Yep, but that time straight into the arms of Bravo. It is 1-0 at half-time. We're well on top. I am pleased. Again, I'm going to take a cautious approach to the team talk. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to take an encouraging approach. I think we're doing well, but we can definitely find another gear. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to rip into anyone. I'm not going to look at any individuals. But yeah, the only thing I am going to do for this one, I don't normally do it. We are normally extended highlights, but I appreciate this video is going on for a little bit longer than I'd hoped it would in general. So we're going to stick this one to key highlights just for the second half. Just for this game, just to hopefully get through it a little bit quicker so that the video doesn't go on too long for you guys. We've got the opportunities. It puts it down the right wing to Sabrino. Puts in a low cross, and Lozano's there to tap home. It is an easy finish. It's a great pick out from Sabrino. Good vision. Nice cross. Whipped in, nice and low, straight at the feet. And it's a tap in. It's a really good goal. Sabrino with the creator. That's a really good cross. This man is keeping Theo Bongonda out of the team. And with passes like that, it is easy to see why. We're 2-0 up. We're looking like we're in a strong position now to extend our unbeaten run at the start of the season to 5 games. Betis will certainly be looking for a goal before that hour mark to get themselves back in it. I'm sure they won't be wanting us going to the last 30 minutes of the game being 2-0 down. But this is football, and anything can happen. Now, Fekir, who definitely has been Betis' bright spark going forward, he seems to have been involved in everything that they've had in the attacking side. Granted, that hasn't been much, but he's definitely been at the heart of it. Now it's Brian Ocampo for us, who's looking to attack down the left wing, and he's putting a beautiful ball, and Lozano is there with his head. The man that I was saying before the game, he was getting this one last opportunity up front, and he's taken it. He's bagged himself a brace. A second half brace in the opening 7 minutes. Again, it's pinpoint accuracy on the cross. That is superb from Brian Ocampo. He could not, that could not have been more accurate. And Lozano gets up well, guides the header into the top left corner. Keeper no chance. It's 3-0. It's time for a change. Let's see one of the new guys. Let's introduce Gustavo Assunção. The central midfielder, he's going to come on and give Jose Maria a rest. And we're just going to tell the lad that there is no pressure. Have fun. You're on your debut, so enjoy it. We're 3-0 up. Just go out there. No pressure, son. Nobody wants to see you do anything fantastic. Well, everyone wants to see you do something fantastic, but no one expects it. It was very nearly 4-0 there, Alex Fernandez. I mean, you've got to remember, this is a Betis side that have not conceded more than a single goal in their last 3 games. So this is a good performance. To be 3-0 up going into the final 19 minutes, it's really, really good. It's really positive. But we have been really, really good at the start of this season. We very nearly, it was Fekir again, the assistant manager has put his flag up. He was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But again, Ledesma makes a real solid save there when Fekir had a point range header. And we're going to bring in Francisco Conceição, who's going to come in at right wing for the impressive Sabrino. Should get a standing ovation from the fans for his performance today on a 9.2 rating. But we want to give the youngster that's in on loan from Ajax a little run out at the end of the game and a chance for our fans to see what he can offer. Brian Ocampo takes the corner, which is headed away, and it's gone straight back to him, and he's cut inside, and he was looking to curl it into that right top corner, and Bravo's pulled off a half-decent save. But we're entering the dying minutes now. It's 3-0. It's game over. Even if they score, it will only be a consolation, but they don't. It's just over the bar. Half-decent effort from the free kick to the head. But it's been comfortable. We can't say that this has been nothing less than comfortable. Even though they get a little consolation at the end of the game, I can't necessarily say they deserve it. We'll skip that replay. But yeah, 19 shots to their 9. I think it's fair to say that we pretty much battered them. We pretty much did. And based on those highlights that we saw, it could have been a lot more. Like I said, we'll let our assistant go to the media press conference. He did the one before the game. We'll let him do the one after. But after that, we're now 5 games into the season. We are still unbeaten. I think that puts us on 13 points. Yeah, 13 points. 2 points behind Real Madrid. It's been nothing short of sensational. Join me next time when we'll be. I will have played through a few more games, so I'm going to go and play probably the next 4 or 5 matches. We'll come back. Maybe we'll come back for like the Mallorca or Celta Vigo game, yeah, we'll watch that one together. But let's see if I can keep this unbeaten run up going a little bit longer. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry this video has gone on a little bit longer than I expected and a little bit longer than some of the others, but I hope you've enjoyed, and if you did, as always, hit that subscribe button for me. Speak to you soon.